look, a big thank you to each and every one of you, and to our friends in the multicultural media space. Thank you so much for coming to Parliament House, Australia's oldest parliament, and on behalf of the Liberal National Parties, I want to really express our deepest thanks to each and every one of you for being here tonight, and express our my personal appreciation for all the wonderful work that you have done, particularly in recent years during the pandemic. And I think the level of communication that you provided our multicultural community groups has been outstanding in recent times. And thank you as our current Shadow Minister and former Minister. We'll be back bigger, better and stronger, I promise. Thank you for your service over those many, many years. As a former Minister for Multiculturalism and Shadow Minister, I have gotten to know many of you even before I was a Minister. A friendship that dates back many, many years, and I want to thank you for the service that you have done and provided our multicultural communities. As I've often said in recent years, our greatest asset is our people, and we are one of the most multicultural states anywhere in Australia, and I think we're a great example of not just the rest of the country, but the rest of the nation as well. The multicultural communities that have arrived here over many, many generations. The contribution that our migrants have made to make a great place New South Wales the great place it is today, and the contribution that they have, and the next generation, of course, have provided. A big thank you to each and every one of you and all our community groups. So, ladies and gentlemen, without anything further to say, I'd like to introduce to you Mark Speakman, the Liberal leader here in New South Wales.
Good evening, everyone. I'm not only the Liberal leader, I'm also the leader of the opposition, and I acknowledge our National Party colleagues who are here tonight as well. We live in the greatest multicultural society on earth. We are so lucky to have three important foundational pillars in our society. We've got the oldest continuing civilisation in the world, our Indigenous brothers and sisters who've been here for over 60,000 years. We've got the inheritance of the original British settlers, the great traditions, faiths, institutions they brought, the rule of law, democracy, equality before the law, freedom of speech, and of course the third great pillar are our multicultural citizens who have so enriched our society, whether it's in the science or the arts or in publishing, online or digital, or in print or in radio or TV, or here in politics, teaching, right across all the professions. We are so lucky to have been enriched by multicultural migrants here in New South Wales and indeed Australia. Here in New South Wales, we have about 2 million citizens who have been born overseas. That's one of the highest proportions of overseas born citizens in the world. As a Liberal Party, and indeed our National Party colleagues as well, we want to do more with people from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds. We know we have to do better, and we are determined to do better. This week, of course, is Budget Week. It's the government's first budget. It's their first Labor budget in 13 years. Our job is to hold the government to account, to critique what they have done, and to come up with an alternative set of policies in 2027. We know that families are struggling. We know that whatever your cultural and linguistic background, you're probably affected by cost of living crisis that's afflicting people right across New South Wales. So we know that cost of living is biting, and that's something that we as Liberals and Nationals want to address with making sure the government is providing proper cost of living support. And multicultural media plays such an important part in being the conduit between culturally and linguistically diverse groups on the one hand and elected MPs on the other. As Mark said, you played an incredibly important role during the COVID pandemic, and we know many of those communities were in Western Sydney that were particularly hard hit by lockdowns. So thank you again for all you're doing. Thank you for your advocacy on behalf of culturally and linguistically diverse groups, and we as Liberals and Nationals really value your input, and we look forward to a partnership for many years to come. Thank you.